Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good, but I've realized something.
Oh no! An epiphany?
I guess
Oh no.
this is like it feels like a coming of age story in a way. I'm getting old.
Oh, I know.
And the reality of that
Ugh.
started to set in ways that I don't know if I was ready for. Because I always
Like it came all at once?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like I always thought, no, I'll be fine. I'll just
Age gracefully, as
I
they
was
say.
just gonna say that. I was
Yeah.
age
They
gracefully.
only say that about women, but yeah. Yeah.
It feels like it all happens at once. The eyesight,
God.
the disconnect with the clothing and pop culture. And then the worst thing of all, I look at concert lineups and I don't recognize one damn person on the poster.
For real?
Do they still call them posters? I don't fucking know. I was like, oof.
That's
there-
shocking because I feel like you do a pretty good job of staying
I
on
thought
top
so,
of the music
too.
scene.
There's something called, I think it's called like Outside Lands or something like that. This like thing that's happening in Denver. And I'm like, oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it
That
sounds so cool.
yeah, outside the didn't know a damn band
Are you
on
kidding me?
and then there's like a big sign as you come into Denver or as you head towards Red Rocks, the Red Rocks exit out of Denver. And it is making a reference that I don't get.
Oh no, it's an inside joke and you're not on the inside.
Oh, I am not, sister. I am so outside of wherever that joke is taking place.
Yeah, I'm looking at the lineup. No idea.
You looked it up. Oh, good.
is-
Susie, can you just say something? Because the
Okay.
names actually sound like
Made
if
up.
you were to do, if SNL were doing a prank of like, or this week on
Totally.
hipster bands.
They have everything.
They have everything, right?
Sarah, you're right. Because this sounds like I actually should do like real ones and fake ones and see if you could tell the difference.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. The peony vomit.
That can't be real.
Or can it? The copper children. Trampled by turtles.
I mean, that. Come on.
Bong juice.
Stop it.
No, that's made up. The first one and the last one I made up. But
I
you
couldn't
didn't-
tell.
They all sound stupid.
I couldn't tell.
Husbands, squeaky feet. These are all real. Brothers of Brass
Okay.
and Waxahachie.
I am out of touch.
I know, they're probably great.
They probably are. And it is music you would like. It's like chill elevator music in a way. It's like super
No words
mellow.
to it. Oh, it's like ambient.
Yeah, kind of. In fact, I was like, well, shit, maybe I should like check out one of these bands. And then I listened and I was like, nah, I don't
And you
even
fell
think I
asleep?
would like this anyway. This is like, I'm going to pay to hear music I could hear in an elevator?
Wow. Well, you know what? Gen Z, they're stressed. They want to chill out.
They
a
are.
lot.
They are. Is that? They are stressed. That's
I think
true.
so. Like, I think they're not happy. I've been thinking a lot about that because I don't know, for some reason recently they've been talking about, they must have released the latest like depressive or
okay. Yeah,
happiness trends.
Yeah.
And everyone's wringing their hands about it. And I get it. But I think so much of what determines happiness isn't the actual facts. It's like perception or
Yes.
what you feel like should be happening versus what is happening. Expectation.
Absolutely.
Right.
That is 100%. This is what we talked about just not that long ago in an episode.
Mm-hmm.
And what I have something that's kind of similar that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really shows that our outlook on things is what matters most. And we
Which
gotta be
I don't know
working
how
on
you
that all
resolve
the time.
that. Because if you are sold a bill of goods, so you're expecting the world and then you get medium, you are going to be sad and disappointed.
You start trampling turtles. What can I say?
You need some ambient tunes to lull you to sleep.
Oh.
But anyway, I get what
Yeah.
you're saying. We are old and disgusting.
Yeah, and I hate it. Now I'm doing that eye thing where you just like pull
my
pull it
God.
back every time. And then I read some article. I can't remember the exact the second number, but it said there are 2 points
Yes.
of like aging.
Aging. So,
Yes.
the first one is 44. You haven't even hit it yet.
I know that's what's causing me panic.
Well, you should, because I did hit it and it's not great. And then the second one's at 60. They
Yeah.
thought that we aged in this sort of linear, uniform
Right.
fashion, but we do not. There are 2 explosions that
Jesus.
happened.
Explosion! So
At
goddamn.
44 and 60, and that's when you become disgusting.
And I
2 parts. I'm halfway
Yeah.
done getting disgusting, everyone.
And I think what's also happening is, is my body changing a lot.
How so, Sarah?
Like just I tried on bathing suit tops
Ew, and then what?
that I wore just like 2 years ago. And it's like, I'm just a different body than I'm like, I'm more like a lady.
No!
I guess
So gross.
I guess it's fine.
I
Whatever.
don't want to be a lady.
But I feel more like an old lady body, not
You
old
look
lady
smoking
body.
hot, though. I
No,
am
but it's
engaging this,
it's
but
like, it just is different than you just have to accept that it's not going to be what it used to be. And I think
I'm
that,
not
early onset menopause is the thing that kind of pushed
your
me
body's
into
the
that.
same, Sarah, though.
No, I'm telling
you
you,
sure?
Suze, it's like weird measurements, like the underwear I have somehow got more low rise. How on earth did the measurement from like my belly button to my butt crack increase? What is that? I don't even know what you call that. But
Right, what's the dimension
The size
there?
has stayed
Oof.
the same, but the proportions,
Those babies are sinking low.
things are in different
Shifting.
places than they used to be, and so we're just
Listen.
gonna like embrace it. And
I'm acknowledging what you're feeling. Also, though, I'm saying like you are fucking great and super hot. Everyone
you.
knows it.
thank you.
And so much of this is all silliness.
well, I mean, it is silliness, but it's like the reality of
Yeah, I hear that.
and then it's just a weird phase of life that like is going to happen, but then you feel like you are not going to experience. Here's what else. Here's this. Oh my God, I have another thing to tell you about that I'm really mad about. Oh,
Great.
I'm so mad about
Wait,
this.
let me sneak something in. What
Okay,
I'm not
okay.
mad about is how awesome Beam Kids is.
Oh,
we love
delicious.
this. Super powder. This is, it's supposed to be for kids,
Right.
but anybody could enjoy it. Just toss that powder right in your milk or water, froth that baby up, and you got yourself a green drink that tastes like chocolate.
Yeah, it's
I'm
so
sorry, what?
so good. Put some in your coffee.
Put it in your
That's what I do. Make a little mocha.
That's such a great idea.
It's so delicious.
40 essential ingredients, pre and probiotics, vitamins, all that jazz. Real tasty. Shawn Johnson working her magic. She's not just a gold medalist anymore, people.
No, ma'am.
She's making days over here. Beam Kids is now available online at shopbeam.com/braincandy. Because you're a listener to our show, you can take advantage of their limited time pricing of up to 35% off, plus 2 free gifts using code BRAINCANDY. Get your Beam Kids and your free gifts by heading over to shopbeam.com/braincandy. Enter code BRAINCANDY. That's shopbeam.com/braincandy and use code BRAINCANDY for up to 35% off.
Okay, here is what made me think about youth and beauty and aging and all of this. Is I had to try on those bathing suits because I was going paddleboarding. And so I put on a bathing suit, and I don't care. This is not me saying like I am happy with what my body does. I love it. It is so functional. It is strong. It is doing just great. I love it.
Thankful.
Very thankful. And I could do all the shit that I want to do, which is lovely. And I could still do a backflip, so whatever.
Wow. On land?
Not on land. Let's not get crazy.
Oh my
I never
God,
was able
I was
to do that. Like
dying.
in water, like off of like a diving board, on the side of the side of a pool or something.
Yeah, I love this for you.
I get to show off to kids.
Yeah, I wish I could.
At all
I'm
hotels.
jealous.
Yeah, thank you, Sus. Okay, so then we go paddleboarding. And it's like the whole beach at this little lake we're going to. It is all teenagers, all young kids and younger. And I was like, wow, I feel like, the old lady. And just a couple years ago, I felt like, for sure, right?
Fellow kids.
And then I'm reminded now of this thing that I got super upset about that I have to now tell you about.
Oh, no. Somebody littered.
I am more upset about this. What? At the beach area, this like beach, of the like side of the lake. There's this motherfucking dude taking pictures, pretending like he's taking pictures of other things.
Oh no.
He's taking pictures of the girls in their bikinis.
No.
100% he is.
Okay.
Doesn't have him? I've stared him down. Should I have confronted him?
Well, I'm just surprised you didn't because I've seen you in action.
I couldn't get over it, and I was thinking I tried to not let it ruin my afternoon.
That's a tough one.
But it kind of did. And then I was like, what am I mad about? Should I have gone over to I almost was like, what should I do? What should I actually? Let's talk this out. Because tell me what I should do. Because then I wanted to go over, and one woman was like pregnant, and she was so cute. It just felt like, and this guy was and definitely there was no question. So I don't want to hear anybody saying like, well, maybe he was. He was not fucking bird watching. He wasn't doing anything like that. He was standing in in a area where you're not even sitting down and enjoying. You're definitely like creeping in the parking lot, taking pictures, and then every time I turn and look at you, you pretend to be taking pictures of something else. Come on, I know what you're doing. You're dressed inappropriately for the environment.
Oh my God, he's not even good at it.
Not even good at it. So then I was thinking, should I have gone over to the girls and said, do you guys know him?
Oh, wow.
And brought their attention to the fact that he was taking pictures and then let them, or do I not want, is that not fair? Because is that ruining their day? And then are we, when we go out in a bathing suit, is that just something that that could happen at any given moment, and that's just a thing? That felt gross to me.
Yeah. I do think the least we can do, though, is to make these people feel very uncomfortable.
That's what I did. I didn't stop looking at him, and then I just kept staring at him the whole time. And my girlfriend's trying to get me to help set up, and she doesn't know what I'm saying, and I'm completely distracted.
Yeah, I would get like that too.
Couldn't pay attention to anything that was going on in front of me.
Yeah.
All I was doing was
this is a problem
this
for
motherfucker
me.
Down.
Yes,
Okay.
I get into this a lot where somebody is doing something that I find to be antisocial behavior.
Yes.
Whether it's, taking surreptitious photos or, talking or like watching a video without headphones in public.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Yes. This is what I want to
It's antisocial behavior.
make a fuss about.
And we have been trained because we are like functional, normal people that like whenever someone's being fucking crazy, you kind of like have to ignore it. and just be like, I guess we're just going to pretend like that's not happening and like acknowledge it between us. And I just can't do it. I'm not normal.
I can't either. This kind of stuff. And then I want to protect the innocent.
I really do feel like there are a million ways that we can sort of make these fools feel so judged.
Yeah. Like,
And also just like, you're not going to let it go. Like, you're going to make him as uncomfortable as he is. Yeah.
Like, I should have gone in front of the camera and just like
Oh my God.
posed.
Blocked it.
And like done funny faces,
Or
bunny
take
ears.
pictures of him.
Yeah.
And like laugh like Beavis and Butthead while you're doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
gross. Nobody wants to be objectified that way, sir. Nobody.
And it was very obvious what was happening. And I'm just like, where are these children?
Was he gross or what?
Guardians. He was somebody who would pass for normal, but the behavior was very like, oh, I know your type.
Ew.
And he was in a, I should have fucking written down the name. I don't know what I would have done. He was in a service vehicle. Like he's a repair like somebody he's like in a maintenance vehicle.
Oh, great.
So he's like doing this on
business.
Yes. Oh! I didn't even think about that.
To be
So-
honest with you, I'm surprised there's not more of this weird shit.
I see this shit all the time. So now I just need to know what I'm gonna do with it. So I'll just
It's so
I
gross.
just kept making him uncomfortable. And then I was telling my girlfriend, I'm like, I'm sorry, I just can't get over
Yeah.
the fact that I just can't, because I didn't know what to do with that. And then it made me think, how often are people doing this too?
Right.
How
I think a
often is
lot.
it? I think a lot too, and I hated that answer. Mm-hmm. And now I'm gonna look and scan the beaches and the shores for that taking place.
Shores. All along this great land.
Oh, Suze! Oh, I hate it.
Sarah's vigilante justice
Right.
rolling up the coast.
My binoculars.
But I totally get it, because if you feel like you're seeing something and maybe people are seeing it or not, there's this question of like, how far can you go?
You know what they say? If you see something,
We got to say something.
say something.
And
I
that
gotta
is our
fucking do something.
specialty, is saying things.
I'm like, excuse me, sir. So,
Well, do you remember, though, when someone accused Adam of doing this with children?
oh, I do remember. Yes.
Just to refresh your memory, if you haven't
Oh,
listened to that
God.
episode, Adam had gone to the dentist for a cleaning and he was waiting for me to pick him up. We only have one vehicle. And so a lot of times it's like coordinating. So he was like in a parking lot and he was just on his phone, like checking email and stuff. So he's holding his phone, but like doing stuff on it. And the people across the street had decided that he was videotaping their children get off the school bus.
Okay.
And they called the police.
That's crazy.
And the police came, and obviously Adam doesn't have to do anything because he hadn't done anything. But the police was like, "Can I just look at your phone and show the guy?" And so to show him there's no footage or whatever. So Adam said yes, but like it's one of those things where later you regret it because it feels like, why should I have to?
Right.
But
Yeah.
this is like the other side of what you're experiencing. Where like, what if you called the cops?
Yeah.
And
Well,
then,
that's what I was
like, that
thinking.
guy.
Is this a crime in some way?
If he's filming underage ladies with the intention
is.
of putting on
Absolutely, it is. Of course, right? That is.
yeah.
Oh,
And
God.
that's what they thought Adam was doing after his dental cleaning. So like I pull up, I'm like, "Hey, hop in," and he's like, "The police were here," and I'm like, "What?"
This is
It was
crazy.
like 5 minutes.
That is, yeah, that's the other side of it. But we want to still have I err on the side of vigilante justice and everybody.
At minimum, I want to make people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, at very minimum. Yes.
Wow, Sarah, you are always like really trying to keep the world Right. It's a big job.
It is. And you know what? That's a very good segue for my first story that I didn't get to last time because you wanted something else besides an animal story. Imagine you're a frog and you just emerged from your winter nap and you are ready to go get freaky like the frogs do, like all the frog sounds that we talked about before.
Yeah.
And you're looking
loud about it.
to just like find your mate. And you're hopping and skipping all over. You live in England. And you're hopping and skipping all over the road. And then boom, you fall into a storm drain. Like Final Destination or something. Mm-hmm. A lot of frogs die this way.
Oh.
And so in England, there was a team of conservationists that set out to solve this problem. And they are building tiny little frog escape ladders in all the storm drains.
It's the best.
It's the cutest thing in the whole entire world because I just imagine little frogs climbing little ladders, and they have them, and I've seen the video, and it's as cute as you think it is. And we love a good naming.
Yeah.
Do you know what let me tell you what the group is called.
Okay.
The Warwickshire Amphibian and Reptile Team, or WART.
Good one. That's amazing luck.
Well, it is amazing luck.
The city starts with a W. That
right,
was just,
Warwickshire. Warwick, England. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there. Warwick Castle. The second W, I think, is like silent, maybe.
Yeah.
Warwick.
Oh, thank you.
No, I
wouldn't
don't know.
that.
Like, at least that's how Adam
That
says it.
feels
It's like,
very
is it England
British.
or is it Adam?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that feels British.
That's so funny. They are crushing it in frogs.
Yes, they have installed 20 mesh-covered aluminum ladders in road drains. And
so cute. How many were dying, though? How big of a problem was this?
over 500,000 small vertebrae fall into drains each year. This was the numbers that they had out of the Netherlands alone.
Jesus Christ.
I know. And frog populations have declined over 68% in the UK in the past 30 years. And that's according to Frog Life magazine.
She'll cite it if it's hilarious.
Yeah. That's from a 2016 article in Frog Life.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know England had that many frogs, but I guess it is wet there, so.
Yeah, it feels like, and Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, it feels very English. Frogs,
That's true.
Hedgehogs, those kind of hedgy
Silly
animals that live in like little houses.
Yeah, cottages.
Cottages, yeah. A frog's going to live in a cottage.
Well, whenever I had a pool, I had a pool in Pittsburgh and I had a pool in LA, and I think both times I had to purchase it's called a frog log. And it's this styrofoam like square that floats in your pool.
Yeah.
And then off the square juts out like this mesh ramp that part sits up on the cement, because they would always say that it wasn't just frogs, it was like
right. Squirrels, a whole bunch of
chipmunks were a big problem in Pittsburgh.
Crazy, right.
And they can get in the pool, of course.
Right.
Well, that's easy.
Right.
But how are they going to get out? And so then they just tread water till they die.
Oh, God. That's so sad. That sounds like you on the challenge.
Totally. But it's like 2 minutes only.
Yeah.
I just sink like a stone. Okay, but these frog logs, they are a game changer because they can get out. They can get out no problem once you give them a means.
It does feel like the chipmunks I understand, and the pools I understand.
You're so right, Sarah.
But the fact that frogs
this is kind of your
need to get rescued.
Oh, you didn't have a lily pad.
Isn't that like your thing? Like you have sticky feet and you could climb up and you like love the water and wetness.
Trying.
Like, I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, what do you
I
think
am
that's
so
about?
pro ladder. I want them to have all the
pro-ladder.
ladders. I'm pro ladder, especially.
But
they're only
you feel like
$20
maybe
a
their
piece.
heart
But I'm
wasn't
just
in it.
saying that like, this seems like if you were to line up animals that needed if you were to give me a guess and you were like animals that need an escape ladder from an aquatic situation.
Yeah, frogs would not be
Frogs
high up.
would not be high on my list. I would pick a whole bunch of other animals before that. And the fact that like a dog can just hop in and hop out,
Can they?
I can hop in and hop out.
They can't hop out.
Well,
They need the steps.
climb out. They could use an edge, right?
Can they?
Could they?
Oh
Actually, I
yeah,
don't
like
fucking
doing
know.
a pull up.
Could they?
They can't.
They
Need
can't.
the steps.
Oh my god, that's so sad. Pools are terrifying.
Terrible. Nobody should have a pool.
Nobody
This
should.
is unnatural.
That is really scary, actually.
Yeah.
How many-
Because
Ooh.
unless you have the gradation of like a beach where, you know,
Right. That's what we
eventually
need.
it's shallow enough that it's basically on land.
Yeah.
Well, some things are going to perish.
Well, and I just love that, you know, in like on the lighter side, brighter side of things, that they are doing these things to like help animals, these animal crossing situations, like the
does
green
feel like-
bridges.
You know how like the solution was this ladder for frogs, but it does feel like maybe if you just made the storm drains like more like a sieve, you know, like a
Oh yeah. Oh
the
yeah.
holes be.
It does
really
feel
small.
like stuff goes down there we don't want to go down there anyway. Like make a better mesh.
Yeah, like maybe
covering.
we could redesign what
Right.
can get in there
Yeah.
instead of
definitely.
making exits
Yeah.
for frogs.
But I want more of those animal crossings and less
Oh,
of
yeah,
the,
me too.
you know, crabs getting run over on the streets in Florida or wherever that happens, you know.
Ew,
They
yeah.
did in Banff's National Park up in Canada, they made a green bridge and it's reduced animal collisions by 80%.
That's awesome.
That's a lot. Mm-hmm. And Florida has a turtle passage under a bunch of the highways because turtles were getting hit.
Those fuckers are so dumb.
Yeah. They
I mean,
oh my
they
God.
are.
They are dumb.
So cute, but like, wake up. Right? Like, what are we doing?
Oh God. Even like the tortoise and the hare kind of feels like a situation of like a broken clock.
That, for real,
like-
totally.
Like,
That is so true.
it's like, I think he got lucky with that one, guys.
That parable, I don't know if it's applicable outside of that one time.
That one time.
And those were pretty unusual circumstances.
I don't know why that's so funny to me because I'm just picturing like the hares like or the tortoise is a really good PR person who's
Right.
like,
I know how we
guys,
can
this is your
spin it."
race, right? Like,
Right. Sarah,
the
like I
hare's
feel
PR
like
person was asleep on the job.
we did not. Like they really wanted all of us to learn from that story.
Right.
But I don't think it actually applies outside of that one time.
Right. Oh, that's very funny to me.
Good try though.
Yeah. Okay, what else do I want to tell you? Okay, this is kind of related to the do you think you're lucky story that we talked about
yeah.
a while back.
Yeah.
Recently, a study came out on karma and what people believe their like karma is, like positive or negative. And they didn't specify. Like I know people like purists are going to be like, well, good karma is called dharma and bad
Yeah.
like blah blah blah. But
They
we're
love
just
doing
calling it karma for this. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it turns out, according to this study, when it happens to us, divine justice. But when it happens to other people, is like they totally deserved it. We see it in a negative. Basically, we interpret karma through a self-serving lens, and we think that we earn good things while others deserve their misfortunes.
Oh. Well, yes, that's true.
So 92% of people recalled others' karma or recalling other people's karma. So if you ask them, like, tell me about like karma that somebody received. 92% of people will tell negative stories. But when recalling their own karma, they told mostly positive stories.
Oh my God, that is so interesting.
Yes. And they call this the karmic bias. That happens.
I wish you would have done it to me. Like I wish
I know. I wish I could go back in time and redo it. I was thinking that as soon as I said that, I was like, oh, I should have asked that in that way.
I do think I would have said a negative story about somebody else, but I
Right.
wonder if I would have said a positive one for myself.
Tell
That's
me a
interesting.
time that recall
Right.
your own karma.
Yeah, like how do we manufacture this sort of true answer?
Right.
But I bet you it would have been positive. That is so messed up though.
Yeah, and this is interesting that this karmic bias is stronger in Americans than in other
Where they
participants.
actually believe in karma.
Stronger than India and Singapore, and
Okay.
it was stronger in people who were more self-critical.
What was stronger?
Or I should say, sorry, it was less in people that were more self-critical.
Right.
Like Indians, according to their findings, Indians and Singaporean participants were more self-critical. And
Oh my God.
the
We are
karmic
the
bias
worst.
was not as strong, but it's stronger in Americans who basically think, yeah,
I mean, we are the worst.
we are.
I see it all the time when I hear people like telling their own narrative and how they frame themselves as the hero. Everyone
Yes.
does it to a certain extent, but like it's extreme.
In a way, they call this, it's similar to the just world hypothesis. So that
Yeah.
psychological concept that make people blame the victim in order to maintain a belief in fairness.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of
God.
tied to that. And in a way, also the wellness culture. Like you got sick
Yeah.
because you weren't aligned, or the prosperity gospel, or all of that kind of stuff too.
100%. But
You got sick
I
because
didn't.
you weren't all healthy.
I would be intrigued to know if that framework that you described is true for prosperity gospel folks. It probably is, but I would love to know specifically because
yeah.
part of why the prosperity gospel is so alluring is because it works whether you're successful or if you're not. So if you're successful, your success is evidence of your faithfulness. That's appealing.
Yes.
And then if you are not, if you're poor and struggling, it's appealing because all you have to do then is just have more faith and your day is coming soon. So it works on both ends
Yes,
of that.
yes.
I have never heard a study
Yeah.
where they asked like, well, what do you think about this person that got cancer? Or
Yeah.
like, do you think like it's implicit
Right.
in the theology,
Yeah.
but I would love to
But
know if
I
people are
would-
actually applying it that way.
I would want to know too. I don't think I didn't see the study specified religion but I
Yeah,
feel like it would be
right.
it just did like geographic location.
I even felt that. I know this might sound terrible, but I was very sad when my friend Mike Rindner died. He was the Scientologist who,
Oh, I didn't know he passed away.
yeah, he got cancer a while back,
Oh,
and
man.
he was sick, of course. And then I guess it was maybe 6 months ago now.
Wow.
And I was so sad because he left Scientology and then became an
Right.
activist with Leah Remini on their show and like the Going Clear thing.
Yeah.
But I knew that when he was diagnosed that would be used against him by the church
yeah.
because they would
Right.
think that was karmic in a way
Right.
and sort of like something he deserved and had coming. And don't you ever think that, like, whenever somebody gets sick, that like is an enemy of like politics, somebody in politics or something?
Yeah, we say, "Oh, justice has been served." Oh, thank goodness. I feel like that anytime something happens to like Johnny Bananas, I'm like, "Oh, there we go. That was a little karma."
Yeah.
I do
you
not
feel it about
think
yourself?
that. I do
whenever
not
good
think
things-
Well, I don't think that when bad things happen.
No.
When bad things happen to me, I go, oh, well, this is the balance for that time I wronged somebody.
Oh, do you?
No, I don't.
Oh, right. No, I don't either.
Not at all.
No,
We don't.
Right. We just think like life happens sometimes.
We go, oh, why did this happen to me? Oh, what did I do to deserve this?
You never do that. I wish you did sometimes.
No, I don't really do that.
I feel like that when my daily look box is like even a little bit late.
Oh, you feel like what did I do to deserve this?
I feel like I don't think this is right. I feel like I deserve an on-time daily look box, post office. So the reason is because the fashion inside is so awesome. All you have to do is take a little quiz, style quiz, say what you like. When they asked you like which celebrity style do you like, do you remember what you put?
I put a link to a couple like fashion influencers, like people that I follow on Instagram that
Not
have
celebrities
style.
per se, but like, yeah.
I don't think I actually put a celebrity. I can't even think of a celebrity whose style I like. Who did you put?
Meghan Markle.
Oh, that's a very good one for you.
I love her look.
Yeah, I would have put like what's the
Cardi B?
character? No, who is on the big comfy couch? You know that little
my
cartoon
God,
who wears
yeah.
overalls and like a little beanie? Like
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like I would put something from a children's book or like Miss Frizzle.
Well, you could have, and it probably would have informed the choices they made for what they put in your box, and that's what I love
They
about it.
nailed it with the links that I provided, because I said I like a little more of like an androgynous or like tomboy kind of style, and they gave me really great stuff with material that is so nice. These are
Yeah.
high quality items. And I was over at my friend's house the other day, and I saw her daily look box there, and so my friend is very
Yeah.
fashionable too.
What's in there?
And I
stuff.
should have asked. I didn't ask.
Oh
I
my
just saw it there.
God.
She was out of town, and I was just helping her out with some stuff around
Ask her
her
what
house.
she got,
And
because
I
it
was
is
like, "Ooh,
interesting.
I want to know.
See. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's time to get your own personal stylist with Daily Look. Head to dailylook.com, take the style quiz, use code BrainCandy. You'll get 50% off your first order. Once again, that's dailylook.com for 50% off. And make sure you use promo code BrainCandy so they know we sent you. One last time, dailylook.com, promo code BrainCandy.
Yes. Okay. We talked about karma's a basic bitch. Okay, this was a cute story. I loved this, and I loved this for us too. There was an article in Elle magazine where the writer was exploring how female friendships are reinventing pop music. How what we are seeing in the pop world is this new, like the producing room looks different,
Wow.
especially when it comes to female pop artists.
Why did they say that?
Well, we're seeing a lot of examples of these like childhood duos that are, and even just friendships that were formed like creatively, like Chappell Roan and her, guess like production designer is this girl named Ramisha Sitar, and they collaborate together on, you know, all the stuff for the album and for like really like the look of it and the aesthetic of it. And they're like best friends. It's like you and me. She's the
Right.
creative director. That's the word I'm looking
Right.
for. Creative
so it's
director
this
and collaborator.
collaboration that creates something
Yes.
that's more than just, oh, this is a song. And
Absolutely. And it's
Yeah.
such a shift from from what the behind the scenes looked like, especially in pop music, where it used to be these male execs who were
Absolutely.
sitting there saying, this is what we do. And it was very like, think Christina Aguilera and Jessica Simpson.
Pink.
And yes. And now these women getting to work with other women and their friends have creative freedom, self-expression, the ability to say, like, we want to make this from a female perspective and we know what that is and you don't, shut up. You know, that I think is really powerful. And there were other examples in the
That's so
article.
good.
Yeah. SZA and this woman named Sage Adams, they connected just
Yeah.
over like sliding into each other's DMs and saying like, I
Works
like your
every time.
style. I like your style. Let's work on this. And then SZA flew her out there to be the creative director for
Collaborate.
one of her albums or one of her music videos.
Yeah, this is so good. And
It's
like,
so good.
there's this video of Taylor Swift getting a Grammy a few years ago, and she's thanking everybody for the Grammy, but behind her is just like a sea of white men.
Yep.
And her speech was about like the importance of like female voice and like speaking up and blah, blah, blah. But it was
Yeah.
so undercut by
Yes.
the visual of what was happening and the truth of what was happening. And there's
Right.
nothing wrong with Taylor Swift or having a man write your song.
Right.
But what we have in the industry in general is these men that are pulling the strings
Yes.
and then using women, often pop stars, as
Yes.
like the face of it. And
Right.
Britney and all that. And how shitty it can be when the
Right.
people actually making all the money are the dudes.
And I just love what's happening in pop music for women right now.
And it's all
because
women.
It's all women. I keep saying this. I'm like, show me there are none. This
Yeah,
is
who? Benson Boone?
it's like Charlie XCX. She's like crushed it. She's got a female, like all woman group or team
love
that's like
that.
producing her shows. Sabrina Carpenter was another example they gave. They also listed a bunch of people that I have no idea who they are, as we previously.
Yeah. What did I call it?
Disgust.
Something vomit?
Yeah, I don't even know. That was
one was
one that I
made up.
totally thought was real too. So
No,
Yeah.
it's a whole scene.
yeah, and it's just changing. It's changing what pop music looks like too, and what it feels like. I feel like I've never been more disconnected from, as far as age and stage of life and everything, from
like
the actual
music, yeah.
pop stars.
Yeah.
But I've never felt more seen and more like connected to pop music than
Yeah.
ever before.
Yeah, it makes sense because it feels like the ones that are breaking out are doing so on their own terms.
Yes, it's so authentic.
Yeah. And it doesn't feel like, oh, it's just this machine driving it or whatever.
And it's not for the male gaze.
Not at all.
Like, Chappell Roan is not making that music to make a bunch of execs happy or writing it for dudes. She is writing that music for queer people and women, and I love it. Mm-hmm. And everything about it, just like the performance of it all, what women are choosing to wear, like who they are thanking in their acceptance speech. Doechii was another example.
I love that. That
Love
was
her.
exciting.
And
At
when
the
she won,
Grammys?
yes, and she thanked only women.
Yeah. And she was like, and now I'm among you. And
Yeah.
here's who came before me. Thank you to them.
Yeah.
And now it's me, baby.
Uh-huh.
And she's so good. She's
So
so good.
Good. Mm-hmm. Yes. I love
agree.
it. Yeah, that list, basically everybody who is in that in this Elle magazine article, I would travel to see. My girlfriend and I were having this conversation the other day, like, who would you travel, what
Yeah.
artists would you travel to go see? And I said Chappell Roan, Billie Eilish, Doechii. I think those are like some of the main ones.
I'm still like not into Beyonce. I know everyone wants that, but I have misgivings.
Yeah, you know what? I'll always be a member of the Beehive, and
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love her. Love
But
all of her
something ain't
music.
right.
But I don't know what it is.
Something's weird.
Something is. And I think maybe I got a bad taste in my mouth after we had our show canceled And
I know.
no
I
explanation.
got the tickets. We were going. We were working out our outfits. And then she canceled that stop in Pittsburgh. And then it was just like, bye. I mean, we got our money back and that's it.
Right. But no explanation. No, there's just a lot of mystery. I don't know.
I think she's super talented and
I think so,
a
too.
Genius.
Yes.
But I also am like, something's weird.
Yeah, and I do think her show would be absolutely amazing, and I would still travel
Oh,
for
fuck
Beyonce.
yeah, I'd go.
And I'm definitely Beyonce over Taylor Swift. Sorry, everyone.
Oh, no, that's a no-brainer.
I mean, I just am going to be like that. Yeah. So I thought that was really cute. Who's I want to tell you who wrote it too.
Yeah, I love that about you. Very generous.
Melissa Giannini. She's a writer for Elle. It's so good. It's just like a great article that applauded
It's
female
acknowledging what's
friendships.
going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just love that as somebody who has turned my relationship with my bestie into a career.
Right. We love a lady collab.
We love a lady collab, and I just think I couldn't have ever done this or anything even close with a male partner.
That would have been terrible.
Could you imagine?
Oh my God.
Could you imagine? And just how great it is to have environments that feel very female centric and like woman driven and woman supported. And that's what I think our book club feels like.
Yeah.
And even the men that are in there are such advocates and allies and supporters of the cause and are such a great example of like hashtag not all men, And
Yes. I can't emphasize this enough because I keep getting so much crap online about like all the times that I say like men are not okay. And then some dude rolls up in the comments and is like, I'm getting the impression you don't really like men. I'm like, actually, I fucking love them. But that's my cross.
You're
to bear.
just picky.
But,
right. That's true.
But what I'm saying is, and I will say it again, if somebody says to me, if a man says to me, Suze, women aren't funny.
Ugh.
I don't agree with that statement, but I'm also not offended because guess what? I'm fucking funny and I know it.
Yeah.
And
right.
so I'm not offended by you saying that because you're the dumbass in that story.
Right. Totally.
Or you know that I am not one of the women you're talking about. Okay, fine. So if I talk about how men are not okay or men are shitty or what the fuck, why are they taking up so much spots in the prisons? Which is undeniable. They start all the wars. They murder all the people. It's just facts.
Right.
Okay, if I just say that, but you don't murder anybody and you didn't start any wars and you're a gentle, tender spirit,
right?
You're not going to be offended. So anytime these men are like, I'm like, that's a red flag that you're offended.
Right. Are you lumping yourself into that category? Right.
It's like you're telling on yourself.
Yes.
Is what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm going to talk about and tell on ourselves about is how freaking great Hungry Root is.
Oh, I could say that all day long.
Guilty
Shout out
as
to Hungry Root.
Shout out to Hungry Root.
Keeping me fed. And I have made some excellent choices with my
Tell me about them.
delivery and my dinner. Okay.
You're good at
so
this.
I am good at this, I will say.
Yeah, you are.
What Hungry Root does that I always love is it takes food that I think, I'm not going to like that, but I know it's good for me and I should eat it. And then every time I make it, I'm like, holy shit, this is delicious and I love it. Why don't I eat more of that? Okay, yesterday I took a picture of it because it was so good. Yesterday I had salmon with Brussels sprouts and sweet potato, but it was sesame ginger.
Right. So the flavors
salmon.
are just like
it was
crushing
so good. And then I was eating that sweet potato, and the whole time I was thinking, why don't I eat sweet potatoes more? This is so good. Look at how good that looks, Suze. Look.
That looks amazing.
It was so good. And then I didn't know how much I loved grapefruit and yogurt and granola, and that's what it's got me eating for breakfast.
You're kidding. Grapefruit?
So good.
Wow.
I'm obsessed with grapefruit now. But I would have never
didn't
bought a
think
grape.
that's
I would have
possible.
never got grapefruit for myself. Like been just at the store, like, oh, let me get this grapefruit. It's just not in my
Right.
my mix of
Your
things that I
list,
buy.
yeah. Well,
now they're
that's the
just
thing. Hungry Root is sort of this hybrid of like grocery shopping and meal delivery, kind of, because they're sending you your groceries, your normal stuff, your staples like
Yes.
sour cream and whatever, stuff like that.
Any pantry item you just need.
Yeah, pantry items.
Yeah.
But then they're also giving you recipes like what to make with them,
Yes.
which you can choose to do or not. And I would say
and
do
you
it.
can edit them. So say that is what I love. I love other meal delivery plans. They'll give you this recipe, but then what
It's
if you
like, you
say,
gotta do
I
it.
don't want
Yeah.
roasted red peppers. I want sweet potatoes instead. This one you could swap it out.
You can
and you
swap
could say
it.
whatever you want. Here you go. You want, and then I am like, I want to eat the same thing for breakfast like 4 days in a row. So you just do that.
Right. Yeah, it's so great and it's so customizable if you don't want protein, if you don't want seed oils, whatever. We love Hungry Root. Take advantage of this exclusive offer for a limited time. Get 40% off your first box. Plus, get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/braincandy. Use code braincandy. That's hungryroot.com/braincandy. Code braincandy to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/braincandy. Code braincandy.
Okay. Do you want to do you want to hear a story on wild experiments that scientists are doing with cicadas against their will?
Oh,
or why humans heal slower?
Oh, slower healing for sure.
Okay. So there were recent studies on how fast we heal and like the healing process. And we learned that humans heal 3 times slower than monkeys and chimps. And researchers were like, what the
Wow.
fuck is going on there?
Yeah, that's shocking.
Yeah, because you'd almost think it's the opposite.
Absolutely.
That somehow we're more evolved, so wouldn't we be better
Better
at
at that.
healing our bodies? Nope, not at all.
That is
3
such a
times longer,
bummer.
in fact.
3
And-
times longer.
Yes, and there are some theories as to why. So we have thicker skin, and they say, right, but also not.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Definitely not metaphorically.
Yeah, not metaphorically at all. So thicker skin for protection. That may be that because we have no hair, because our skin just needs to be thicker, so it takes longer for it to close. And the other theory out there is that humans have sweat glands, and that the sweat glands disrupt the healing process.
Wow. Chimps don't?
Not in the same way
How are
we
those
do.
guys staying cool?
They're not sweating like we are. That's actually a good question.
Because they have all that fur and everything. How are those guys staying so cool?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's just a different distribution of sweat glands or where
I
they
want
are.
what they have.
Yeah, so we heal way slow, and
Who
the
designed
research
this?
is published in the Proceedings of the Royal Society.
That sounds made up,
It sounds very British.
which often sounds made up. Like so much of their shit is like, did you
Yeah.
just say that and you made it up?
So I guess it says that we lost fur, but we gained sweating.
That is the worst trade-off I ever heard.
Yeah.
I would rather have fur. I'm always cold.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. I wish the article talked more about that.
Yeah, why were we doing that?
I didn't even think to ask the question, why the heck don't monkeys sweat?
Yeah, I guess it's because of climate change, right? So, like, if temperatures are rising, then evolutionarily, your body's going to think, well, I don't need all this fur, but I do need sweat glands.
Well, yeah, and then we learned that it had something to do, us losing our body hair had something to do with the introduction of a kind of lice. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That there was something that
Right.
this kind of lice came about, and so animals that had less body hair, and you could like mark the time when we started wearing clothes by the lice, or something
So
creepy and gross
gross.
and weird like that.
Have you ever had lice, did we say?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay.
Sure did.
Right.
Oh, God. I had all the bugs. I'm not kidding. It's really gross and terrible.
What? How many different kinds are there?
Well, my mom was reminding me the other day, we were talking about how I love working in the garden now. And she said, wow, it's so interesting that you love that. When you were a little kid, you would hate it when I would make you work in the yard. And she goes, but actually, this makes sense because the yard was hurting your now looking back, I understand that was your little kid way of recognizing what was causing a lot of the discomfort that you were experiencing. Like, I'm allergic to this kind of mite that's in like sphagnum moss, so this moss that's in a lot of like soil that you mix for like garden beds and stuff like that. So I'll get like, I have to be like fully covered when I do any gardening. And this is the part that my mom reminded me of that's so disgusting. Do not make a clip out of this.
I won't. I wasn't writing that.
Okay, this is going to be so gross.
I was writing a gift idea down. I swear.
This is going to be so gross. I had...
make a clip out of it.
You totally should. I had pinworms and she said she had to go like in the middle of the night and like look with like a flashlight, like they were like
in
coming out of my
butthole?
butthole. And it was because I was in the yard and then I would bite my nails. And she was like, yeah, the garden was giving you worms. Of course you didn't like the garden. See, that's the bug I had.
Oh my God. It's so much worse.
I was like 4. Okay. I was a baby.
But like, this is what they say about pinworms. Like, cause people will be like, what? Okay. What happens when you have pinworms? If you're not familiar, I've never had them.
I
Sarah
have.
did. Is that your butthole gets super itchy?
Yeah.
And you don't know why. And a lot of people, when they go to sleep at night to find out what's cooking, will put a piece of tape on their butthole because these pinholes pop their head out at night of your butthole.
My mom goes, don't you remember when I had to look at your butthole? It was like, no, Mom, I don't remember that because A, I was a child, and B, I probably blocked it.
Well, so what usually will happen is that pinholes come out, they attach themselves to that piece of tape, and that's how you know you have these pinworms.
Yeah.
Now,
Blech.
how did you determine you had them?
My mom told
She
me
went
the
inside
story.
your butthole and looked?
She must have seen me scratching or something and then was like, I got to go find out. And the doctor probably said, this is what you got to do.
And it
so
comes from dirt.
And it came from me biting my nails after playing in the dirt.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
So she was like, no wonder you didn't like the garden. But I'm happy to report no cases as an adult.
Up to the age of 4.
Yeah. So we're good, people.
Oh my God.
Oh, God.
I wonder what you take an antibiotic or something.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, it must be.
You
like
got to
some
take
sort of-
something that like kills them. Oh,
Remember when I was convinced I had a tapeworm?
I remember that. I'm still not convinced you didn't have one.
I don't think I did, but I thought it was possible. And I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often.
Well,
if you're eating sushi and stuff.
I've never thought I think I saw a worm come out of my butt. But if you thought that, then that is alarming. And
I've seen things since then, though, where I'm like, oh, that's what I saw.
oh, what on earth are you eating?
Yeah, there must be some fucking weird thing going on. Where, like, I'm talking like once a year, I'll get something. It's like, oh, that looks like worm-like.
Okay. What if you did have like a parasite?
I can't hear you. What
if you? I said, what if you did have a parasite?
They convinced me that I didn't, but like, there was
if
a
the
period
doctor
of time.
convinced you that you didn't, you probably
Because
don't.
you do get, I mean, like, you will keep losing weight and like,
Right,
they have
you're
to
right.
sort it out.
Right. And yeah,
I would be dead.
you've been putting on muscle, so.
But I actually like that we're very conscientious and we'll go to the doctor and be like, hey, you know what? I feel like something weird's
I
happening.
feel like I got a worm in my butt.
You have to, because these people, You have to be aggressive with your doctorate.
You have to, and you definitely don't want any of those kind of things. It's like you don't want to ignore the problem.
Boy, if anyone was like tuned out early on this episode, they really missed out.
Oh man, this sometimes the things I say on here. Thank God I'm in a wonderful relationship, because this ain't getting me any dates.
You know what? We're all bags of bones, though.
We
That's
sure
true.
are. And as we learned in this episode, this bag of bones is aging quickly, about to hit that.
I know. We're in it
marker.
together, though.
We are.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Sarah did an amazing job teaching us about frogs and you know, tortoise in the hair is bullshit. I think we can all
I
agree.
think that's what we really took away from this episode.
What do you think we concluded about karma? I don't know.
Karma's a bitch.
Karma's a bitch.
Thinking it better. Whatever.
Yeah, that's what we concluded. And I still am not clear on why humans heal slower. That has not been made clear to me. Why would that benefit us?
It doesn't really. That's a good point. It really doesn't benefit us.
Like something's not right there.
Yeah. It's kind of like as we got smarter, we also became way more vulnerable in many ways. You know, like our babies are more vulnerable. We take longer to heal.
That's so fucked up.
But we, have indoor plumbing, so evolution.
Thanks for looking up.
Yeah.
All right, friends. We'll see you next time.
Bye.